Apart from values and ethics, which I have tried to live by, the legacy I would like to leave behind is a very simple one, that I have always stood up for what I consider to be the right thing. I have always tried to be as fair and as equitable as I can be. I don't know why I'm getting emotional. I fuck with this. Ratan Tata. How do I say this? Ratan Tata, India's favorite industrialist who turned his family business into a global empire. All right. Let's hear about this. This is like the Jeff Bezos or the Elon Musk of India. Ups and downs in life are very important to keep us going because a straight line, even in an EKG, means we are not alive. You got to appreciate the ups, and the only way we could appreciate those peaks is by experiencing the downs. And whenever you're down bad, whenever we're unhealthy, whenever we just feel shit out of luck, the only thing we want to feel again is that place where we could just take a deep breath, exhale, and feel good about the world, right? That's a beautiful quote. And two, there's so many layers to this. If you live a straight line, then there's going to be no ups and downs in your life. That means your life is dead. There's nothing new. There's nothing coming into your world. And to me, sometimes being the best way to imagine life is just imagine you're laying in a really shallow river. You're laying back, your arms are extended, your legs are out wide, and there's just enough water to where you're leaning back. It's not hitting your throat, your nose, so you're super comfortable. And you could feel this water flowing, right? And there's going to be little leaves that come and hit you. And those leaves are different things that come into your life. Sometimes it's new opportunities. Sometimes it's new friends. Sometimes it's loved ones coming in. And then guess what? Those leaves come and then they go. Opportunity comes and go. You got the new job. You've lived in it. You've experienced it. It's time to move on. Friends came into your life and now they're out of your life. Parents brought you in and unfortunately they have left. Right? To me, that is the most beautiful analogy of life. It's just because life is always flowing. It's never still. It's never stagnant.
When Indians normally speak about top businessmen or billionaires, there tends to be an undertone of disdain, though a lot does seem to be changing now. But right from the start, one man who, despite being among India's richest business leaders, was never seen in this light was Ratan Tata. Ratan Tata had an impeccable reputation and is a name that every Indian has always been proud of, and right.
I like looking at people's eyes. Whenever I see a photograph clearly in someone's eyes, you could tell a lot by looking into someone's eyes and their soul, see how much hate, how much heart or resentment, how much love they have.
Rightly so. His leadership of the Tata Group over 2 decades was transformative, with a remarkable vision, strong work ethic, responsible practices, ethical values, and ambitious global acquisitions with his quiet dignity and grace. Ratan Tata is one veteran industry leader who's hardly ever been involved in any big controversy. And while the Tata Group's overall legacy holds an important place in India's economy and business landscape, there's no doubt that Ratan Tata's role in it was legendary. But all of this didn't come easy for Tata. Despite being from the illustrious family, he faced personal challenges when his parents separated when he was just 10. Once he grew up, despite studying at Harvard and Cornell, he started by working on the shop floor of what is now Tata Motors as an assistant in 1962. He worked from the ground up. He worked at Tisco, he worked at TCS, and he served as the chairman of Air India from 1986 to 1989. But when he took over the reins in 1991, many didn't expect him to be the one to lead after J.R.D. Tata. This because the Tata Group under J.R.D. Tata had a decentralized structure with several group companies having considerable autonomy. Some of these executives didn't expect Ratan Tata to be appointed, and his appointment was met with some bitterness. According to business historians,
what was the bitterness for? Bobby, if you can give me some context, why would people be bitter that this man took over at that point in time?
JRD may have appointed Ratan Tata instead of the others because he wanted someone who understood the Tata ethos, which was very important to him, and he thought that Ratan Tata would uphold it. And he was right, of course. Most of those familiar with the business landscape agree that Ratan Tata was the best thing that happened to the Tata Group at that time. And since then, the conglomerate has grown from strength to strength. Tata is among India's most ubiquitous brands, if not the most ubiquitous. Under Ratan Tata's leadership, the group expanded globally with a string of high-profile acquisitions like Tetley and Jaguar Land Rover. and in these years, the Tata Group spread to over 100 countries. He managed to make the largely India centric company a global giant. But it's not just for the business decisions that his legacy stands out, it's the philanthropist in him too. Tata Trusts is one of India's largest charitable foundations, and the only reason why he's not further up on the bunch of Indian rich lists is because of his donations and the Tata Group structure, which channels substantial profits that are generated into community development and charitable activities rather than personal
Beautiful.
wealth enhancement. Ratan Tata was honored with the Padma Bhushan in 2000 and the Padma Vibhushan in 2008. While his legacy is multifaceted, the biggest one is the love, respect, and admiration that he earned from his countrymen. He will always be the one businessman who Indians love to love.
I kind of want to read that quote. Apart from values and ethics, which I have tried to live by, the legacy I would like to leave behind is a very simple one, that I have always stood up for what I consider to be the right thing. I have always tried to be as fair and as equitable as I can be. I don't know why I'm getting emotional. Maybe it's just because, from what I understand, this leader passed away on October 9th. And there's not a lot of, I don't want to say not a lot of great men, because I think there are a lot of great men out in the world who just don't have the same resources backing everything that he had. But he seems to, Mr. Ratan seems to have started from the bottom, worked his little ass off, and put himself in a position to where he could make change, and he still kept his human nature when he was at the very top, and always tried to do the right thing, and was always fair and always equitable. I think that is such a beautiful, beautiful thing that I'd like to see a lot more of here in America. We got Elon. I think Elon is the best example of that. Jeff Bezos is kind of turning around, but man, it's so. This is gonna be the last thing I say. The last time I say this, because I feel like it's a little ignorant every time that I do say it. I knew India was a great country and people had pride in it, but I didn't realize the level and to the complexity and all the nuance there. It's so diverse. It's so cool. Freaking love it. The Tata family had donated 100 billion plus. He didn't want to make a business. He always wanted to do the thing for the nation. And that's so cool when you're actually in a position to be able to not just give back to your family, but your community, as a whole, and then the state as a whole, and the nation as a whole, and you continue to try to do the right thing. I mean, I'm sure there's some people who are going to be critical, right? Because even at the highest level, haters just mean you're having anger towards everyone reaching success. And he's at the top of that success, so he's going to have some haters. But man, what a beautiful soul. Just those little clips. There was a clip in there where he was just listening and he had a smile, and he was just that was awesome to see. I don't know why I'm getting emotional when I'm talking about it, but man, that just seemed like just as respectful as I could say, a sweet, powerful old man, and it sucks to see like somebody like that go. God,